On the edge of the city, where the street lights blinked and the road stretched like an open mouth into the long darkness, stood a gas station. Suddenly, a menacing voice echoed, its neon sign casting a mysterious glow that barely illuminated the night's darkness. On a stormy night with rain pounding, the pavement and thunder rumbling in the distance, Emily found herself at the gas station. Her car fell silent as she stepped out into the storm, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. Inside the station, the air was heavy with the smell of gasoline and something more sinister. The lone attendant, a small figure with sunken eyes, welcomed her across a smile that sent shivers down her spine. As Emily reached for her wallet, she couldn't ignore the strange and ear faces etched into the walls, symbols that seemed to pulsate with malevolent energy. Oblivious to unsee, she handed over her credit card, eager to escape the storm. But as she waited for her turn, strange whispers filled the empty station. Unspoken words and brave utterances seemed to emanate from the shadows, filling Emily with a sense of dread. Distracted, Emily rushed back to her car, the storm raging fiercer. But when she turned the key, the engine remained silent. Panic gripped her as she realized that she was trapped, at the mercy of whatever lurked in the darkness. With no other choice, Emily returned to the station only to find an empty room. The threatening flicker of the lights, looming shadows, overwhelmed her senses. Suddenly she heard footsteps behind her. Something was thrown around her, but she saw no one in the empty station. Her heart raced as object was thrown into the back of her car, her nerves on edge. As she screamed for help, a voice whispered in her ear, sending shivers down her spine. "You shouldn't have chosen this place to park your car." Frozen in fear, Emily looked back at the station attendant approaching, her eyes gleaming with malice. With nowhere to run, she realized she was at the mercy of whatever lurked in the shadows. With one last effort, Emily fled from her car and ran into the night. But no matter how far she ran, the darkness seemed to swallow her whole. Hours later, the police arrived at the empty gas station. Emily's car was abandoned and the station was desert. They searched the surrounding area, but there was no sign of her anywhere. Once upon a time, in the cold and darkness of night, in a small remote town, there stood an old and rundown gas station at the edge of the woods. The locals whispered tales of mysterious disappearances and terrifying encounters surrounding this gas station, warning travelers to stay away after dusk. The gas station, with its blinking lights and weather-beaten sign, seemed frozen in time, instilling a sense of unease in anyone who dared to approach. The air around it was heavy with fear, as if the ground beneath it held dark secrets. One stormy night, a weary traveler unaware of the station's sinister reputation pulled into refuel. As he pumped gas into his car, whispers carried by the wind chilled him to the bone. Ignoring the warnings in his mind, he ventured inside to pay, only to find the store empty and desolate. Shelves filled with dusty, kebab-covered items. A sudden cold gas sent a shiver down his spine as he noticed a figure lurking in the shadows, its eyes gleaming with malice. Panic gripped him as he realized he was not alone in the station. With trembling hands, he reached for his wallet, disappeared to escape this nightmare. As he rushed towards to exit, the lights flickered ominously, casting threatening shadows, and the figure in the shadows advanced, its sinister grin reflecting the twisted features, frozen in fear. The traveler could only watch as darkness enveloped him, dragging him into a terrifying abyss. The next morning, when the sun rose over the abandoned gas station, all that remained was an empty car parked by the pump, a chilling reminder of the horror lurking within its walls. To this day, local curse the shadowy past of the cursed gas station, a place best forgotten in the depth of memory. And those end of the tally of the gas station, a place where darkness, regions, and nightmares become reality. Beware those who venture too close, for the lost secrets still linger in the shadows of the night, waiting to claim their next vest. Once upon a time, in a remote and desolate corner of the village, there was a foil station shrouded in mystery and fear. This place was known among the locals as the site of inexplicable events, where cryptic signs of the supernatural lingered in the air, and shadows seemed to dance with a life of their own, filling the place with dark and eerie corners. The foil station, with its vibrant colors and ringing pumps, seemed frozen in time, bearing the scars of a tumultuous past haunted by the presence of a sinister darkness. Travelers passing through the area spoke of unsettling tales, strange noises in the night, apparitions looming in the mist around the station like a veil of horror. One stormy night, a young couple found themselves stranded with low foil and reluctantly stopped at the station, their nerves already on edge as they stepped out into the cold, biting wind. The air was thick with an unspoken dread, the kind that seeps into your bones and fills you with a chilling fear. As they filled their full tank, an unsettling sensation crept over them, settling in slowly, and if unseen eyes were boring into their souls, startling. Then shadows flickered, and then light, twisting and contorting in terrifying shapes, as if playing a macabre game mocking the onlookers. Inside the station, the couple ventured to the cashier's box, finding it abandoned and dust-covered. An old radio crackled back to life, emptying static-filled devices that seemed to speak directly to their deep-seated fears, sending waves of primal terror coursing through their bodies. Suddenly the lights flickered and went out, plunging the station into darkness so deep that a gut-wrenching scream echoed into the night from afar. Panic seized the couple as they fumbled with a flashlight, their heads pounding in their chests, desperately seeking an escape from their living nightmare. But no thought of salvation came to mind. In the shadows, eyes of twisted figures moved, their eyes gleaming, the malevolent light that froze the blood in their veins. The air grew heavy with a foul, bitter stench seeping in their skin, endorsing a nauseating sensation. Desperate to flee, the couple ran towards the exit gate, only to find it deathly like trapping them with whatever lurked in the darkness within. A sense of impending doom gripped them, a feeling that they were being inexorably drawn towards a fate worse than death. As they turned back towards their unseen tormentors, the shadows took a tangibly forms of overwhelming horror, in a grotesque display of twisted and demonic malevolence, faces twisted to expectation of pure terror, hands reached out of their flesh, dragging them deeper into the abyss of fear. With time passing, the fuel station seemed to pulsate and morph, its walls pulsing with a seeking energy that seemed to feed on the fear of its victim. The air turned with a malevolent force, a person's hungry for their consumption of their souls, turning them into polyhollowed shells of their former selves. In a final act of despair, the couple cried out for help, their voices lost in the empty void of the station abyss. The shadows closed in around them, enveloping their sight, cutting off their last breaths, an embrace of soft-acting oblivion promising forgetfulness. And then, in a blaze and ethereal light, the terror vanished. The fuel station stood empty and silent, the night air calm and serene, as if nothing had ever happened. The couple was never seen again, their faith lost to the darkness that they consumed them. To this day, the fuel station stands as a monument to darkness and despair, a place where the veil between our world and the next is thin, and cursed spirits roam freely. Will you venture into the abandoned walls? Beware for the truth and await with the ready to come, and expecting souls on the dark nights.